Good afternoon. We are Lee Si-yeon.
And Lee Sang-woo, the host of this year's English Day.
As you can see, this year's English Day is going to be hosted online. Normally, we would have went to the Kundaegon, but of course, again, all because of COVID-19, we had no choice but to twist our plans.
Yes, it's such a shame we had to change our plans, but I'm sure there will be its own perks.
Oh, by the way, I heard that there are fewer participants in the debates compared to last year since it's done online and so on.
Yes, which means keen competition. I'm really looking forward to it.
And I also heard that the first team will be debating on a big issue.
A big issue? Easy, I think I can get it. It must be celebrity poetry.
You aren't wrong, but other than that,
Oh, it must be false advertising. You know the one on the YouTube.
nope, you're way off base.
Haha, okay then, this will be my last try. Digital prison?
You've got it.
Of course I knew it. I was just playing dumb. By the way, I don't know much about it. Could you give me some explanation?
Of course, in fact, it's my debate topic. The digital prison is a site that reveals the identities of child porn site operators.
Oh, well, what's wrong with them? They deserve it.
Well, you see.
Hello, I'm today's debate moderator Kim Hye-rin. Have you heard about the digital prison? If your personal information gets shared on the internet, how would you feel? That video was about the digital prison. Digital prison is a website that shows criminals' personal information. But there is a controversy. It guarantees people's right to know, but criminals' personal information can be opened before the trial finishes. So there are two conflicting opinions. There are two pros and two cons.
Hello, I'm Lee Eun-ji, the leader of Human Rights Group, and I disagree.
Hello, I'm Lee Ju, a lawyer of Jungsan Law Firm, and I'm in the opposite side.
Hello, I'm Han Ji-woong, the maker of Digital Prison, and really approve of continuing Digital Prison.
And I am Lee Si-yeon, a professor of sociology, and I am with the pros.
Thanks for taking time, everyone. Today's question is, should we continue to operate the digital prison? Pros, please tell your opinion first.
I made Digital Prison, and the biggest reason for creating it is solving judicial distrust. Korean citizens often disagree on unreasonable judicial judgments. This causes distrust against the judicial system.
In addition, judges in Korea often reduces criminal sentences for reasons such as they have a bright future, or they are a first-time offender, or it was temporary insanity. However, these reasons are not enough to reform criminals. Therefore, digital prison is a result reflecting discontent towards the judiciary, which guarantees people's right to know about brutal criminals. It also helps people predict and prepare for the possibility of retaliatory crimes after criminals serve short sentences.
Pros argue that the digital prison can solve public distrust problem. Then cons, it's your turn.
First of all, the digital prison has no standards or basis of punishment, and that is the biggest reason we're against the digital prison. Unlike the law, which has written standards about who will punish or what punishment will be given, the digital prison doesn't. So it's really dangerous that personal information is open to the public due to one person's decision. Different from the law, the fairness of digital prison is very suspect, as the target and content can change according to the person who sees it.
Cons argue that you cannot ensure its fairness because its standard is subjective. Pros, please tell the next reason.
We can say that digital prison works for public benefits according to utilitarianism, which follows the greatest good of the greatest number. If the public benefits caused by going above the judicial system is greater than the harm, we can say that digital prisons should be allowed to exist.
Cons, tell the second one.
The second claim is about mental damages. The operator of digital prison is about the accuracy and objectivity, because they are neither practitioner nor police. In other words, as information is just based on just guesswork, it can turn innocent people into criminals overnight.
Yes, and additionally, if the victim whose personal information was leaked but turns out to be innocent, then the netizen who spread the rumors can also be legal liable criminals.
Cons focused on damages from the lack of responsibility of personal information. Plus, do you have other reasons?
Of course, in fact, we have specific figures.
According to a National Statistics Agency, preventing crimes called Community-Based Management of Sex Offenders in Korea proves criminals have more fear of having their privacy revealed than any other punishments. In fact, introducing privacy revealing laws lowers habitual crime by 11%. So, why don't we keep digital prison going?
No, no, no. The act of spreading the identity is related to personal punishment that a group or a person decides unreasonable punishment by themselves without any justice system. So how can you say it is a good behavior though it is wrong and ethical from the beginning?
And also, it's a violation of rights for third parties related to criminals paying for their crime, and it can worsen into cyberbullying. It doesn't make sense to leave keyboard warriors blaming others mindlessly in a society susceptible to blaming others.
We told you that what people think and legal sentences are different, you know.
Cons, please tell the objection first.
So you mentioned about realization of public interest and utilitarian principle. So you have any official examples?
Of course, there was a time when the management of Bad Fathers, a website that releases personal information of parents who don't give child rearing expenses after divorce, were charged for defamation. However, they found this site not guilty since its public benefits are greater than the harm it caused by violating the judicial system. And this case exemplifies that personal punishments could be imposed on child support issues.
And according to your assertion, digital prison lacks accuracy and objectivity. But rather than opposing private punishments such as digital prison, judiciary need to admit the act of imposing them and give accurate information to the digital prison, which contributes to solve inaccuracy problem. So, what's your opinion against my claim?
Never. As we said before, personal punishment is just an illegal behavior. I think your objection is totally wrong because you already assume that a rule of state country admits personal punishment as a justified activities.
Okay.
Cons, please tell the objection first.
Well, guys, as I searched 89 cases that are shown in the digital prison, do you know only 77 cases are facts and 12 cases are wrong information?
Well, I'm not an idiot. We can punish websites or blogs only when there are more than 70% of fake information. 12? Actually, they're in a safe zone.
Is there anything to it?
That will be a question that I will soon ask to you. Then, you are admitting that 12 cases out of 89 are first.
Yeah.
Then, as there is first information, victims exist because of it. Do you know it?
Yes.
Wait, are you saying that the digital prison should be managed even though there can be victims?
Of course, we can't help it. People aren't perfect. We make mistakes sometimes.
Right. Sometimes minorities' sacrifice is needed for majorities' justice.
Oh, you really has a nerve. Can you say like that if your family is the victims that suffers?
Calm down, everyone. We don't have enough time, so we will pass.
You said that there could be a victim of injustice a lot of times. There must be a concrete case, huh?
And is that specific?
Of course. That's why we're still here trying to say the fact. 2020, July, one post was uploaded on the website saying that a college student is a criminal. The student complained about it because he was innocent, but the owner of the website uploaded another post, and the college student got suffered because of the false information. And tragically, he died of a heart attack from the false information.
Okay, now we will finish objection time. Listeners, did you listen to his objections? Now we will listen to its conclusion. Pros?
There are problems unsolvable with law. This is why we need something like digital prison. How could we just let those criminals peacefully live with us pretending that they're innocent? It is way too dangerous to have no information about them. We should be able to gain information in order to take precaution for ourselves. This is not about punishing them. This is for our safety. This is why we agree on the digital prison. Thank you.
Why the law exists? Why do we take law as the standards of society? If making websites and posting personal information is making social justice, our society will be out of control. Digital prison will ruin the basic of society. As we mentioned before, keeping the digital prison are against the principle of prohibition of self-help and the principle of prohibition of double punishment. Also, as it is not an objective standard or content, it might make innocent victims. This will soon destroy a system of laws. Also, the one who has the power will use it badly to make their interest. From now, we have to stop private sanction and strengthen basic of laws. This will be the way to statutes of laws and realization of justice. Thank you.
Okay, today's debate is over. I want to ask one question to listeners before we finish. Which is the first? Solving a problem quickly for major, or following a law fairly? To realize the justice, what do we have to choose? Thanks to all of the participants for passionate discussion today. And thanks to all of you for listening. Have a nice day, everyone.
I thought that the digital prison only had advantages. It's so shocking to learn such side effects. That was really useful.
It sure was. By the way, what's with your clothes? I've never seen you wear that before.
I bought some clothes with the disaster assistance fund. Only if they had given me 100,000 won more, I could have bought more clothes.
You should be grateful. There could have been none at all. You'll understand if you watch the next debate. It's about how the disaster assistance fund payments should be done. Shall we move on?
In May this year, the government provided disaster relief fund, so we are arguing how to provide disaster relief fund. People say the government has to pay compensation to everyone who had suffered economic damage from corona, but the actual extent of the damage is very different for everyone. Some sectors of society have been hit very seriously, and the results are disastrous. The most economically damaged people are small business owners. They are either unable to open their stores, or in more serious cases, they are closing their business forever. On the other hand, employees working in areas like technology industry have benefited economically from the corona crisis. Not only small business owners, but also those who lost their jobs because of the corona crisis have come to a point where their livelihoods are threatened. Do you think we should pay everyone an equal amount of money? This is not equal but rather unfair. Therefore, I think it is obvious during the corona era that we have to provide support funds according to the extent of the damage in current economical harm caused by corona. You said that differential assistance should be provided because the extent of damage is different, but there is no standard to accurately measure the extent of damage. There are two reasons. First, the areas where people suffered by COVID-19 crisis are not limited but diverse. For example, there are a wide variety of areas that are damaged by COVID-19, including wedding, air transport, and tourism. It is difficult to provide differential support based on one standard for these various sectors of damage. Second, there is no objective indicator that can accurately measure the extent of damage. The range of damage varies widely from person to person. One can discuss the damage simply based on economic loss, while another can also consider psychological and emotional damage. It is very difficult to establish the standard of damage caused by COVID-19 because it is very different for each person with just one indicator. These differences can lead to social conflict and confusion.
As the government have said, argument for providing disaster relief fund to people who do not need can be a shortcut to increasing national debt. The primary disaster support fund was paid to everyone, but the secondary fund was selectively paid to people based on income. Although the confirmed cases of corona has decreased a little bit, it may become more serious at any time, and it is too much to increase the amount of government aid every time. Some say that those who actually need it can't make a living even if they are given disaster support. I think that the first priority should be given to those who need disaster assistance.
I had one question. Unlike the primary disaster support fund for everyone, the secondary payment was based on income. So, it is fair? Isn't it possible that a person with a large amount of assets, such as real estate, could be eligible for secondary payment?
Even if you have real estate as an asset, if your income has decreased by more than 25%, I think it is fair for the government to provide support. It's because real estate price can't be the same for everyone, and real estate has also suffered considerable damage due to the corona.
I think that disaster support should be paid equally to everyone because it is made up of everyone's money. The purpose of the disaster support fund is to stabilize people's lives and restore the economy. That's why we are providing cash support so that we can visibly see the impact on the economy. The government will eventually run out of the budget and no longer be able to support everyone. However, the Corona Disaster Support Fund is a temporary aid package. So, in this emergency, it's important to support everyone quickly to maximize their effectiveness. If it's a problem to support even the rich, it would be a good idea to pay back with taxes when you make year-end tax settlements for your income and taxes. Corona is prolonged and all the people are trying to overcome it. Under these tough circumstances, the budget should be used quickly and wisely for all of the people.
Soyeon, I think it's more effective to focus on low-income families and those who are suffering from corona. Where do you think the effects are further maximized?
Okay. If only low-income and corona-related people are affected by their income, the disaster support they receive will not be able to lead to active consumption because of the financial difficulties they face.
Today, we talk about Corona Disaster Relief Fund. Though we have different ideas about the criteria for providing disaster relief fund, we have the same challenges.
To overcome this COVID-19 hardship, we need to pay attention to these problems and put our efforts.
Let's try together! Watching debates are fun too, but I think we need to take a little break. Don't you think so too?
Is that so? Let's have a refresh then. Let's move on to the spelling bee contest.
Hi everyone and welcome into 2020 Jungsan Spelling Bee. I'm your host Won Sojong and this is it, the final two survivors. The match that will determine the 2020 Jungsan Spelling Bee champion is starting now. Today's final matchup has two people from each grade. They've defeated all the competitors, and finally here they are. Let's meet these fabulous competitors. We have Won Do-hoon and Park Sang-hoon from first grade, and Won Dong-hyun and Choi Ji-won from second grade. Just in case there are some people who are not familiar with the spelling bee, let me briefly tell you about how this competition is going. Each student is supposed to listen to a certain English word and ask to spell the word and say its meaning in Korean in 30 seconds. Listen, spell the word, and say its meaning. Easy peasy, right? Then let's get started with the first grade's competition. Then are you guys ready?
Yes!
Great. The first word is for Won Do-hoon.
Remind. Remind.
REMIND. 상기시키다.
That is correct. Okay, let's continue with Sang-hyun.
Abandon. Abandon.
Abandon. ABANDON. 버리다.
That's correct. Next word is for Do-hoon.
Construction. Construction.
CONSTURUC. TION 건설.
That's correct. What a tie competition. Okay, let's continue with Sangyun.
Volunteer. Volunteer.
volunteer, VOLUNTEER, 자원봉사자.
That's correct. You guys are so great. The next word is for 도훈.
Permanent. Permanent.
PERMANENT 영구적인.
That is correct. Okay, let's continue with Sanghyun.
Indifferent. Indifferent.
indifferent, INDIFFERENT, 무관심한.
That's correct. Now let's continue with 도훈.
Segregate. Segregate.
SHEREGATE 차별하다.
That is also correct. Next word for Park Sang-hyun.
Observe. Observe.
observe, ABSORB, 흡수하다.
Sorry, but that is not correct. Now, if Kwon-do-hoon answers correctly, then Kwon-do-hoon will be the champion. Do-hoon, can you spell the word, please?
OBSERVE 관찰하다 목격하다.
That's correct. Alright, we finally have the winner, Do-hoon from first grade. Congratulations, Do-hoon, and thank you so much.
신의 강자 최주 vs Sky Kwon-do-hyun 지금 시작합니다.
And we have another final match for the second grade. Are you ready?
Yes.
The first word is for Choi-ji-won.
Reveal. Reveal.
REVEAL 드러내다.
That is correct. Next word is for Kwon Dong-hyun.
Distribute. Distribute.
DISTRIBUTE 분포하다.
That is also correct. Next word is for Choi-ji-won.
Valuable. Valuable.
VALUABLE 가치 있는.
That is correct. Next word is for Kwon Dong-hyun.
Artificial. Artificial.
ARTIFICIAL 인공적인.
That is also correct. Next word is for Choi-ji-won.
Integrate. Integrate.
INTEGRATE 통합하다.
That is correct. Next word is for Kwon Dong-hyun.
Extraordinary. Extraordinary.
ESTRAORDINARY 비범한.
That is also correct. What a tie competition. Okay, let's continue with Choi-ji-won.
Contemporary. Contemporary.
CONTEMPORARY 현대의.
That is correct. Next word is for Kwon Dong-hyun.
Thermometer. Thermometer.
THERMOMETER 온도계.
That is also correct. Next word is for Choi-ji-won.
Mortal. Mortal.
MORTAL 치명적인.
That is correct. Next word is for Kwon Dong-hyun.
Pronounce. Pronounce.
PRONOUNCE 발음하다.
That is correct. Next word is for Choi-ji-won.
Vacant. Vacant.
VACANT. 비어있는.
That is correct. Next word is for 권동현.
Monarch. Monarch.
처음 들어보는 발음에 놀란 스카이 권동현. 대배속 영상 재생이다.
MONRANARK.
그가 틀리자 영어 신동 최지원의 입가엔 미소가 지는데
Now, if Choi-ji-won answers correctly, then Choi-ji-won will be the champion. Then, Ji-won, can you answer?
Yes.
Then please.
MONARCH. 은주.
That is correct. Alright, we finally have the winner, Ji-won from 2nd grade. Congratulations, Ji-won, and thank you so much.
스카이를 이겨서 행복한 최지원. 그의 미소 멋있다.
Alright, everybody, we have 2 champions for the 2020 Jungsan Spelling Bee. Congratulations and thank you all the participants today. Now, coming up next, the English debate contest again. Bye bye everyone and see you next year. Wow, that was a really keen competition. They all did a great job. Congratulations.
I guess we rested enough. Let's move on to the next debate. It's about animal experiments.
Oh, animal experiments? That's so sad. I am absolutely on the animal side. What about you?
Well, I think we should listen to their debates first, shall we?
Today's topic is whether we should limit animal testing or not. Let's hear the opinion of those people who favor animal testing.
Animal testing should not be restricted. This issue is directly related to the stability of the product. If customers experience side effects, they may sue, and the company's image will be ruined. Furthermore, our biggest concern has to be the customer's health. Throughout the cosmetic industry, products proven by animal testing have always been accurate. Restricting animal testing due to minor ethical problems can cause gigantic damages to the company.
You said that restricting animal testing because of ethical issue would cost the company a lot. But wouldn't animal testing be more harmful to the company's interest?
How that would be worked?
I don't think animal testing is essential, and I think animal testing should be restricted. Animal testing should be restricted for one big reason. Because the banning in animal testing creates positive public opinion among consumers. Many negative articles are heading in a negative direction. Ignoring consumers' opinions in production companies such as ours, whose main purpose is to make products according to consumers' needs, could cause our company's biggest lose. In fact, foreign companies are proving their stability through various methods, such as human cell culture, computer modeling, and so on, without experimenting with animals, and they are attracting consumers' attention.
Considering the negative opinions of consumers against animal testing these days, you suggested that we look for other methods not involving animal testing. So what do you recommend?
Well, I understand both sides, but I like to vote against animal testing's restrictions. There are many ways in which animals can be replaced during testing. However, the high cost of substituting animals can be significantly negative for our company. Therefore, from an economical point of view, there is no other suitable option. Do you have any comments?
We know that the image of cruelty-free will interest consumers in the company's products. As they mentioned earlier, the cost of replacing animals such as human cell culture and computer modeling can be covered by consumers' perception, which has attracted attention as non-animal products and the money saved from not using animals.
Can consumers cover our company's expenses for side effects? Animal testing protects people from serious side effects that threaten our lives. In the US, 107 people died from antibiotics administered directly to humans without animal testing. Some people may suffer from blindness and King can survive using our products. Besides, the loss of our company to damage. Animal testing is necessary to prevent these accidents.
The result of animal testing will not always occur. Indeed, animals are genetically very similar to humans, but there is still a difference. For example, the red-eared monkey used to test AIDS medicines, but the medicines cannot be applied to humans because it was only infected with SIV. Like this, cosmetics that can be used in animals can be harmful to humans.
You have pointed out that products which have not been tested on animals can be a threat to consumers' health. But products that have been tested on animals can be a threat to consumer safety. Do you have any objections?
As most of the industry is conducting animal testing today, as it is directly related to human life, I think we need to be more careful. But I agree that animals' life are as also important as human life.
Through this discussion, we heard the pros and cons about animal testing. I agree with the opposition. We should consider the side effects or not experimenting with animals. But I think we can find different alternatives. And given the growing calls from consumers to stop animal testing, it seems right for us to follow the trend as a leading company in animal protection. So our company will reduce animal testing. Thanks to all the executives who participated in this meeting. This discussion will be of great help in the development of our company's cosmetics.
That was good. By the way, I am so happy these days.
Why?
I am finally 18. The shutdown doesn't affect anymore.
Oh, congratulations, but what's the reason for carrying out the shutdown?
I'm not sure, but let's find out through the next debate by our classmates. It's about shutdown.
What the? Why did it turn off? Oh my god, I almost on the game. Shut down? What is that? I don't know.
Shutdown is a system to prevent online game addiction. So teenagers under the age of 16 are banned from accessing online games from midnight to 6 a.m.
Also, the system applies to all computers in the house or the PC room, but mobile games available on smartphones and tablet PCs have been excluded from the shutdown system because it was judged that there was less risk of a serious addiction.
We are not kids. Why do we have to listen to you?
In terms of shutdown, some say we have to limit teenagers' excessive game playing time, whereas the others claim we have to guarantee teenagers freedom to play games. So today we will have a discussion. Affirmative team, please go ahead.
First, games have a negative effect on mental and physical health. In particular, when teenagers play a game for a long time, the negative effect becomes stronger. In terms of mental health, playing games increases teenagers' tendency for violence. Moreover, playing games during long periods of time causes neck disc problems and weakens eyesight. For these reasons, WHO defined game addiction as a disease in 2019. Second, teenagers lack self-control, so they need adult guidance. But parents would have so much trouble controlling their kids' game addictions. Therefore, the government has to reduce parents' and teachers' burden by practicing shutdown. Third, increased tendency for violence by excessive gaming can result in teen crimes such as fight at school or home and cyberbullying.
Okay, the affirmative teams claim that teenagers lack self-control in playing games, so their mental and physical health is affected. Moreover, the negative effects cause an increase in violence. Next, opposite team, please go ahead.
First, playing game is a student's right, but shutdown suppresses students' freedom. Suppressing their freedom is unjustifiable and causes long-term social problems. Second, shutdown has little effect. For example, it doesn't apply to devices other than computers, and teens can still use parents' ID to bypass the shutdown. But from a Korean economic perspective, shutdown weakens the domestic game industry. Now, Korean domestic PC game market ranks second in the world. In addition, young people are the biggest proportion of game players. That is, there is so much to lose financially from implementing shutdown. The opposite team claims that shutdown suppresses students' freedom and points out the potential shrinking of the domestic game industry as well as systems non-effectiveness. Now, affirmative team, please make an argue about the opposite team's claim.
First, you said playing games is a teen's choice. Of course, teens' choice should be least active. However, excessive gaming must be banned for teenagers' health, the same as teenagers have no choice to smoke or drink. Second, you said shutdown will result in a recession of the domestic game industry. Does this mean that the domestic game industry is more important than teenagers' health?
Opposite team, please counter.
It doesn't mean that. It means shutdown doesn't have a significant impact on teenager health, and it only shrinks the domestic game industry. According to our data, since the introduction of shutdown, the domestic game industry has shrunk by 10% and 17% for online game. The U.S. Supreme Court judged that violent video games laws was unconstitutional, saying that the causal relationship between violent video games and teenager aggressive behavior has not been proven. While there is still no proven correlation between teenager health and games, the domestic game industry shrunk due to shutdown.
Okay, now opposite team, can you argue the affirmative team's claim?
Do you think determined game-loving students will not find a way to play game because of shutdown? If teenagers are limited, they will find any way in the world to play games. In this situation, young adults may get money from students to buy their account IDs. That is, shutdown is ineffective and it can cause other social problems.
Affirmative team, please counter.
You refer to adult malicious account sales. However, that's always speculation. It might not happen. Also, government and game companies will make an effort to improve security and self-certification. You said other crime would occur because shutdown limits teenagers' ability to release stress. But if the government provides some alternative to help reduce teenagers' stress, teens can find another beneficial stress-relieving method other than playing games. For example, one alternative is to make more outdoor leisure facility for youth.
I listened to both of your opinions. First, supported shutdown referring to negative effect on teenagers' health problem and self-control problems, while cons opposed shutdown by mentioning teenagers' right to freedom and the harm to the game industry. Then, what do you think?
It's already time to end. It's so sad.
Yes, that's so sad, but it also means that it's time to hear Jungsan's voice, Jungsan's pride, 나 혼자나 chorus. It's so exciting that we'll sing a song called Why We Sing by Kirk Franklin. Have you ever heard of it?
While you sing, I've never had a chance for listening that kind of music, but I guess it will be a great performance because La Ondana is a talented club, right?
Of course, they are a fabulous club. Everyone knows that. Well, no more waiting. Let's listen to it. Well, that was a great ending for our English day.
So far, I will Lee Sang-woo.
And Lee Si-yeon. Thank
Thank
you.
you.